Well, the Sixers go down in ugly fashion last night, and what I mean by ugly is there were so many opportunities to win this game. If it didn't come down to maybe Maxey slipping on the floor or Kelly Oubre not fouling Kawhi Leonard twice on and ones in the last couple minutes of the game, or maybe Kelly Oubre actually finally gets the shot off at the end instead of, trying to draw the foul, and maybe they actually call the foul, and maybe this happens and that happens. There were so many little things that added up to the outcome of that game. And the reason I'm frustrated looking at it in totality is Indiana lost and Orlando lost and the Cavs lost. Last night was such a pristine opportunity to go out there and gain some ground in the standings. And the Sixers blew it at the end of the game. And now with 9 games to go, if we look at the standings, the Sixers are in a very tough situation. We will get into that. Also, we got some explanation after the game as to what the final call was or was not. Did the Sixers get cheated? We'll talk about that. First, we have to jump into Joel Embiid because we have some major injury updates. But welcome into Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. Thank you all for always supporting the show, and we give you the news and updates every single day. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated with more. Nick Nurse talked last night before the game, and this is what he had to say about Joel Embiid. Quote, "I think there is a very good likelihood that he will return before the play-in playoff." So Nick Nurse almost feels settled on the fact that Sixers are going into this play-in tournament. And I said it last night on the stream, say they go in and they lose to Miami in the first play-in game, then you're sitting there with a do-or-die March Madness-style tournament game up against the Chicago Bulls or Atlanta Hawks. Nurse knows a lot about that himself. And if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, you do not want to go in there as the favorite against a 9 or 10 seed and lose. That would be pitiful. That would be totally embarrassing. And it's just not an optimal situation to be in. Here's what Nurse said overall about Joel Embiid and where he's at right now.
Do I think I think there's a very good likelihood that he will return before the play-in playoff. Yeah.
Nick, what are some of the things? What is he able to do right now on the court?
Well, he's out there working, right? He's out there working. He's doing lots of skill work and things like that, and just trying to continue to advance all that stuff. Yeah.
So right now he's doing skill work, still going through certain drills. Keith did go on and ask, is he in scrimmages? Is he playing up against other competition yet? And the answer was no, which does concern me a little bit. Are they, trying to be a little bit sneaky here and he's not going to come back? Are they just trying to sell Sixer fans hope in life and he might not come back? Well, we saw Joel last night on the sideline and he looked pretty happy and good spirits. So I hope that he is able to muster up the energy and the health to come back. But I guess we just have to wait and see, which has been the answer all along. This has been an absolute roller coaster of a season. Here's what Woj said, echoing this last night on NBA Countdown. Quote, "I'm told it's not a question of if, but when Joel Embiid returns. The belief is with 9 regular season games left after tonight against the Clippers, Joel Embiid can be back for a handful of those before the playoffs. There's a lot of optimism right now around Joel Embiid. I'm told he is moving well and has looked good on the court." We look at the Sixers standings position right now. And again, they're right behind Miami, but it seems like they're probably going to end up in this 7 or 8 seed unless they can go on a run here in the final games and surpass Indiana, also Miami. But where do you think they're going to end up? Here are their 9 final games: Cleveland, Toronto, OKC, Miami, Memphis, San Antonio, Detroit, Orlando, which, by the way, could probably be a huge game at the end there, and Brooklyn. How many games of the final 9 will they win? They need Joel Embiid back. We've known this. It's at the core. That's who this team is, Joel Embiid, and they need him to be healthy. So we'll see how it plays out. Drop your prediction down below. How many games do you think they will win out of the remaining 9? Now, before we get into the literal cheat last night, the Sixers got cheated. Of course, no repercussions, right? No repercussions. Let me rant for a minute. But before we jump into that, a quick shout out to our sponsor of today's video. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Southern New Hampshire University. It is 2024, and with a new year comes new goals. If one of your goals this year involves going to college, then I have the perfect opportunity for you. SNHU allows you to turn passion for sports into a degree with their online sports management program. You'll get to learn about the business and economics of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze data. This degree can help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, sports information director, marketing manager, and even other exciting roles in the industry. You'll get to tap into SNHU's network of grads working in sports-related organizations. SNHU has one of the largest accredited nonprofit online degrees in the country. They are radically affordable, and their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. So go down to the description right now of this video, click the link, go to snhu.edu/PhillyTake to request free info about the program and start your new year off on the right path. Upon request, a real person will even hop on a call with you to discuss how the program can benefit you personally. Once again, check it out. Click the link down below, snhu.edu/PhillyTake. All right, man, let's jump into it. So, I'm not one that much anymore to blame the refs and this and that. And quite frankly, yes, the refs were disastrous last night, but the Sixers still shot themselves in the foot. Like I said, not getting the final shot off, or making a couple bad defensive rotations or decisions, and Tyree slipping on the floor. You put your destiny in the refs' hands, and that is always a negative situation to be in. But the refs were awful, and here's what came out after the game. Per Keith Pompey, says NBA referee Kevin Scott on the final play of Sixers versus Clippers, which is the play where Kelly Oubre, after losing the tip, but the Sixers still got the ball, somehow ended up with it, and he goes downhill, puts his body right into Paul George. The clock was just expiring. It was very close, and Nick Nurse literally ran on the floor and was, erratic. He thought that Kelly Oubre was fouled. He thought it was probably the second or third time he was fouled in the last couple minutes. But here's what the referee had to say, quote, "On the last play on the floor, in real time, the crew interpreted the play as the defender jumping vertically. However, in post-game video review, we did observe some slight drift to his left by the defender George, and a foul should have been ruled." And here's the very frustrating thing for me. Okay, cool. The refs got it wrong. Can we go back and play this game? Are we going to go through this whole protest process? Like, that never works. So the referees literally just admitted blatantly, we were wrong after a game. Will there be any repercussions from this? No. In fact, Kelly Oubre is the one that's going to get fined for his actions after the game, but you significantly could have just impacted playoff positioning. You could have impacted the Sixers' opportunity, say, to get the number 6 seed. Whether you did or did not, there's still an opportunity, a chance there, and you just went out there and potentially messed that up, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. You just screwed the Sixers. Matter of fact, here's Nick Nurse after the game, and this was awesome. Look at Kelly Oubre. I'm not going to state what he said. You can probably read his lips easy. He looks at every ref. I freaking love Kelly Oubre, man. I love Kelly Oubre. You know what he said after the game? He said, "My coach was out there fighting for us, and I wanted to fight for him." That's why even if Oubre did what he did last night and, made a couple bonehead mistakes in the last few minutes, I can't hold on to that anger. I can't be frustrated at Kelly Oubre because, again, he leaves it all on the damn floor. He wants to win. He has that dog mentality, and you know what? You take the good with the bad, right? If all the players had this approach and this mindset and this mentality, we would not dislike anybody. This is how it should be. You should be sticking up for your guy. Nick Nurse, I thought, was going to pop a blood vessel. He was almost charging at the refs. I don't know why they're out here taking all this anyway. They should have just left, right? The game was over. They knew they were wrong. And Kelly Oubre sticking up for his coach. It is incredible. Here's the final play. You tell me, was this a foul? Kelly Oubre dribbles, drives, and right there, you see him move to the left. That's what the referee was talking about. And it was literally right before the buzzer went off. But either way, again, the Sixers have fault because they put themselves in a bad situation. But this should have been a foul. And it could have gone to overtime. And the Sixers could have won and ended up having a huge gain in the standings. But instead, here they are, once again, on the wrong side of the spectrum. And now with 9 games to go, they're in a very tough spot. And it's just frustrating. It really is. And that doesn't even take into consideration the whole game and how badly this game was officiated. It's unbelievable. But when Kawhi Leonard and PG play that bad up until, say, 6-7 minutes in the fourth quarter and James Harden disappears like he always does, it's a game you should have won. And the Sixers are going to have to try to find that identity once again that they had at the beginning of the season. I know it's tough without Embiid, but they need to pull together and win some games here. I mean, that's the only hope. That's the only hope. Can they stay afloat in these final 9? We'll see how it plays out. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who do you blame for last night's game? Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.